Hello everybody and welcome to the inaugural Zwift World Team Race. It's an event that's been in the pipelines for around 2 months and it was organised by Tam Burns. He's put a lot of hard work and effort into it. Tam had 280 riders sign up for this event from 25 different countries, possibly the biggest race Zwift has ever seen, and first and foremost, the servers survived it, which is great news for everybody. The race started at 11 AM GMT and as soon as it rolled out, it appeared we were in trouble. We're going to pick up the action here with Tam as the rollout has just begun.
So here we are with Tam as the rollout begins. Now, if you're new to Zwift, let me explain a few things. Firstly, the organiser of the race is also the race leader, and they designate a neutral section of the lap to make sure that everyone stays together. If any rider has suffered any problem whatsoever, they have a chance to get back on before the race actually starts. Now here's where the problems begin. The course was supposed to be the Richmond World Road Race course. It has a nice long flat start, making the neutral section much easier to manage. We actually ended up on Watopia, and you have the big climb right after the start finish, which can easily lead to a breakup in the peloton. In the rules for the event, there was no specific watts per kilo that riders had to maintain. Instead, Tam had said a soft pedal pace, which can quite easily be open to interpretation, and will vary depending on ability, skill level, and knowledge of actually racing on Zwift. Now normally most racers maintain a 2 watts per kilo limit in the neutral section. On numerous occasions Tam did issue orders for riders to slow down, but they were not adhered to. I think it was this rider here that caused a chain reaction that started the splits in the neutral section. Jay Peterson here was pressing around 3 watts per kilo and seemed to have no intention of slowing up. Now, in his defence, he could be brand new to this race and not understand the rules, or in his head he was pedalling at a soft pace. But this caused riders from the main group to start accelerating to catch him, and before you knew it, the whole peloton had stretched out all over the place. Now, we saw a lot of negativity flying around and comments that didn't really help the situation, and I'm sure the debates on Facebook are going to last a little while longer. So here we are, and the riders have just gone under the statues and the race is now on, and here's how it unfolded. Here we're following a few riders who were quite capable of keeping up with the front group, but because they followed the rules, they paid the price and were never able to get to the front to even contest the race. Take Andy Self for instance, a top 10 finisher in his Tuesday night race. Now the front group headed through the village, and just after it saw the first small attack by a Belgian rider, De Groom. He was soon swallowed up by the pack, but the acceleration had been a little too much for some riders and they fell by the wayside. Now on the following lap at the same place, it was another Belgian rider, Van Eycken, who tried to soften the legs up just a little more, and with teammates in the group behind, they had chance to follow wheels and take it a little bit easier. Now through the start finish, Van Eycken had slipped back into the group, and behind them a small group of riders had formed as they tried to close the gap on the front riders, and behind that group was the main peloton, and in it was Cassie from Team Z hanging in there with the men. Way to go, girl. Now heading up the climb for the third time, and it was the American Woods who'd attacked, and he stretched out the front group even more. Luge was the French rider who brought him back, and the attack came to nothing other than a few more riders had been shelled out the back. Fourth time up the climb, this is where the fireworks started, and we saw the benefit of having teammates. De Groom attacked from the group but was chased down by a French rider who had Van Eycken on his wheel. He then counter-attacked over the top of both of them and went off in search of a solo victory. The group further back was still working together in pursuit of the stragglers from the front group. Van Eycken now had a 16-second lead on his rivals, but to hold that advantage around this course for almost 2 laps, that was a huge task, and come to the start-finish line for the final lap, his lead had been gobbled up to nothing. It was once again back to normal, and the final climb was going to sort this race out once and for all. The Juggernaut had kept his powder dry, and he was the only Team Z rider in the front group. He rode a tactical race, but come the final climb, he let it all hang out and took it to the other teams. Attacking hard up the climb, he secured the KOM jersey, and he was 15 seconds faster than the second place rider. The lead rose to around 45 seconds, and it was now basically a fight for second place. The Juggernaut crossed the line alone, but it was a blanket finish for Mateo from the Portuguese rider Giulietto, finishing off the podium. The two French riders rounded out the top 5, and there was battles all the way down the field, the highlight of them being the sprint finish between Herrigus and O'Neill. In my opinion, a great first attempt at a world team race. Let's not forget that Tam decided to put this event on himself, and it was spawned out of the community of Zwift. It just kind of shows how strong the community actually is. Hopefully it shows the huge interest in racing, and it's something Zwift are surely going to develop in the future. After today's event, in the short term, I think leaders could do a few more things which may or may not be getting done in other races. First off, just include the word leader in your name. It makes it a lot easier to see on the right hand side. And obviously, the more leaders you have, the easier it is to shepherd that peloton. So maybe looking to get 3 or 5 riders all shepherding that peloton safely. A few things I'd like to see from Zwift will be a nice bright high-vis kit solely for the organisers of the race so you can spot them easily. And possibly in the future the ability to actually limit the amount of watch riders can produce in a designated neutral area. It's always going to be tough in the early stages, but if the demand for racing is there, Zwift will be right behind it, like they pretty much have done with everything else. But for a first event on such a big scale, I think Tam, his helpers and all the riders should be really proud. Congratulations everybody. Don't forget, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below and let me know what you think could be done to help races run more smoothly in the future.